Who was she?
Ava, it's late.
I asked you a question. She looked at me like I was the only person in that room who didn't know who she was.
Lauren likes creating drama.
Then why didn't you introduce us?
Because I knew she'd make it uncomfortable.
She already did, so start talking. I still can't believe you convinced me to come here on a Wednesday.
You work too hard. Somebody has to remind you that life exists outside your laptop.
You always know exactly what to say.
That's because I've had 3 years to study you.
And what have you learned?
That you're impossible to impress.
Sometimes I still can't believe you're mine.
I could say the same thing about you.
What are you thinking about?
Our future.
Whatever happens, promise me we'll always be honest with each other.
I promise.
Okay, I admit it. That was actually the perfect Wednesday night.
I told you.
You also said I work too much.
I was right about that too.
You know what I want?
What's that?
A vacation.
Where?
Anywhere you are.
Careful. I might actually take you somewhere.
Then let's go. Theo?
Yeah? Lauren, I can't talk right now.
You need to call me back.
I said I'll call you.
Theo, this is important.
Not tonight.
Who was that?
Nobody.
Nobody called you?
Just someone from work.
At this hour?
It's complicated. Hey, don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So who called you?
She's someone from my past.
Your past?
It's nothing you need to worry about.
So why did you say nothing?
Ava,
You said it's nothing initially, and now you're saying she's someone from your past? You didn't tell me this was going to be this fancy.
I wanted to surprise you.
You succeeded. What?
Nothing.
You just stopped talking.
I thought I recognized someone.
Across the ballroom, Lauren suddenly noticed Theo. At first, her expression was confident and composed. Then she saw who was standing beside him, Ava. Lauren's entire expression changed. She stared at Theo for a long moment, almost as if she couldn't believe he was actually there. Then her eyes slowly moved toward Ava, and quietly, almost involuntarily, she said, "Theo?" Lauren slowly made her way across the ballroom toward them. Theo watched her approach, his expression becoming increasingly uncomfortable. Ava, still unaware of their history, remained polite. When Lauren reached them, Ava smiled and introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Ava." Lauren looked at her for several seconds. Then she asked, almost as though she already knew the answer, "You're Ava?" Ava nodded. "Yes." Lauren turned her attention back to Theo. There was disappointment in her eyes now. And then she asked the question that immediately changed the atmosphere. "You never told her?" Theo's expression hardened. He quietly warned her not to do this here, but Ava's smile had already disappeared. She could feel that there was something between these two people that Theo hadn't told her about. Lauren looked at Ava. There was something almost sympathetic in her expression, as though she couldn't believe Ava was standing there without knowing the truth. Finally, Lauren asked, "You really don't know?" Ava's face changed. She asked what she was supposed to know. Lauren looked toward Theo. Theo gave her a warning look. His message was clear. Don't. He quietly said her name again. Lauren. Lauren took a breath. For a moment, it seemed like she was about to reveal everything, but she stopped herself. Nothing, she said. Then she turned around and walked away. Ava watched her disappear into the crowd, and now the questions in her mind were even louder than before. Ava slowly turned toward Theo.
What was that?
Nothing.
She looked at me, like she knew something about me.
She was trying to make things uncomfortable.
Then why did you look scared when you saw her? Theo, who is Lauren?
She's someone I used to know.
That's not what she made it sound like. Who was she?
Ava, it's late.
I asked you a question. She looked at me like I was the only person in that room who didn't know who she was.
Lauren likes creating drama.
Then why didn't you introduce us?
Because I knew she'd make it uncomfortable.
She already did, so start talking.
Theo slowly walked toward the kitchen, avoiding Ava's eyes. He poured himself a glass of water, taking his time. Not because he was thirsty, because he needed a few more seconds to figure out what he was going to say. From behind him, Ava reminded him that he had called Lauren someone from his past. Theo stopped. She was from his past, he insisted. Ava wasn't satisfied. She wanted to know how far in the past. Theo told her it had been a long time ago. Then Ava asked the question he had been hoping she wouldn't ask. Were they together? The room suddenly felt quiet. Theo hesitated. Then he finally admitted it. Yes, they had been together. Ava stood completely still. She had just gotten an answer she wasn't prepared for. She looked down for a moment, trying to process it. Then she looked back at Theo.
You never told me about her.
Because she doesn't matter anymore.
That's not what I asked.
I didn't think it was important.
You didn't think your former relationship was important?
Theo stepped closer. He gently reached for Ava's hands. Ava allowed him to take one of them, but she didn't look away. Theo tried to reassure her. Whatever had happened between him and Lauren was over, completely over. But Ava wasn't convinced. She reminded him that Lauren still calls him. Theo paused. He explained that Lauren was dealing with some personal problems, and yes, he was trying to help her. He wanted to be a decent person. Ava looked at him carefully. Then she asked the question Theo couldn't answer. Why does being a decent person require you to hide her from me? Theo's expression changed. He opened his mouth, but no words came, because somewhere inside he knew Ava had just touched the part of the story he had been trying to avoid.
You didn't sleep.
I did.
Ava, about last night.
I don't want to fight.
Lauren is part of my past. That's all.
I know you're hiding something from me.
I expect you to trust me.
Trust isn't something you ask for after you break it.
Ava.
Later that morning, Ava sat alone at the dining table. Theo had already left for work. His laptop was still open in front of her. She stared at it for a long moment. She knew she shouldn't be looking through his personal information, but after everything that had happened with Lauren, the questions wouldn't leave her alone. She needed answers. Ava hesitated before opening the recent financial documents. As she began scrolling through the records, she quietly asked herself, "What are you hiding from me?" She continued searching. Then suddenly, she stopped. Something on the screen had caught her attention. Ava leaned closer to the laptop. There were repeated financial transfers, month after month, and every payment had the same recipient, Lauren M. Ava's eyes widened. At first, she thought maybe it was a one-time payment. Then she scrolled. Another transaction, then another, and another. This wasn't occasional. This had been happening consistently, for years. Ava stared at the screen in disbelief. Every month? She kept scrolling. More dates, more payments, more evidence that Theo had been sending money to Lauren over and over again. Then she saw how far back the transactions went. For 3 years. Her voice became quieter. 3 years. Theo had been keeping something from her for 3 years, and now Ava needed to know why. Ava immediately grabbed her phone and called Maya, her best friend. She paced nervously around the apartment while keeping her eyes on the laptop. Maya answered and immediately sensed something was wrong. She asked Ava what had happened. Ava told her she had found something. Maya wanted to know what. Ava took a breath. Then she said it. Theo had been sending money to another lady. Silence. Maya asked how much. Ava admitted she didn't even know yet, but the payments had been happening for years. Maya's voice became more serious. She told Ava that she needed to ask Theo about it. Ava agreed she was going to ask him, but before she did, she needed to know exactly what question she was asking, because at this point, Ava wasn't just looking for an explanation, she was looking for the truth. Ava returned to the laptop. She kept scrolling through the documents, hoping she would find something that could explain the payments. Instead, she found something that made everything even more confusing. An old financial document. Lauren's full name was listed, but that wasn't what made Ava freeze. Beside Lauren's name was another detail. Ava stared at the screen. Her suspicions slowly turned into something much deeper. Fear. Who was Lauren to Theo? Why had he been financially supporting her for years? And why was she listed as his emergency contact? Ava whispered the question that had been haunting her. Who are you, Lauren? Suddenly, her phone vibrated. A message from Theo. He was coming home early that evening. They needed to talk. Ava stared at the message. Then she looked back at Lauren's name on the laptop screen. She slowly closed the computer. For a moment, she sat completely still. Then she quietly whispered, "Yeah, Theo." Her eyes hardened. "We really do." And this time, Ava wasn't going to accept another half-truth.
You're still awake.
We need to talk.
Okay.
Ava and Theo sat across from each other. The room was quiet, but the tension between them was impossible to ignore. Ava placed her phone on the table. She didn't show him the financial records. Not yet. She wanted to hear the truth from him first. She looked directly at Theo and asked how long he had been sending Lauren money. Theo froze. For a moment, he looked genuinely caught off guard. He asked what she was talking about. Ava immediately stopped him. She didn't want another excuse. She told him not to. Theo tried to say her name, but Ava cut him off. 3 years. She told him exactly how long. Theo's eyes dropped toward the table. Then Ava delivered the part that hurt even more. Every month. 3 years of payments. 3 years of something Theo had never told her about. Theo sat silently. He rubbed his hands together nervously, struggling to find the right words. There was no easy way out anymore. Ava waited. Finally, Theo looked up. He admitted that Lauren needed help. Ava asked him what kind of help. Theo's answer was vague. Her life. But Ava wasn't going to accept that. She told him that wasn't an answer. Theo took a breath. He explained that Lauren had been going through a difficult situation, and he had promised to help her. Ava stared at him. The word that stayed in her mind wasn't help. It was promised. She asked him if he had actually made Lauren a promise. Theo said nothing. and that silence told Ava there was still something he hadn't told her.
Were you married to her?
No.
Were you engaged?
Yes.
You were engaged to her?
A long time ago.
And you never thought I deserved to know?
It ended badly. I wanted nothing to do with that life anymore.
Then why are you still sending her money?
Because I couldn't just abandon her.
This doesn't make any sense, Theo.
It's not like that, Ava.
Then like what?
You need to believe me.
Is there anything else?
No?
You're sure?
Yes.
The next morning, Ava sat alone inside her parked car outside Theo's office building. She looked exhausted. She hadn't slept much. Her mind kept replaying everything she had discovered, but one message kept coming back, the message from Lauren. Ava had taken a picture of it that night before Theo could delete it. She looked down at her phone again. There it was. "You can't keep hiding our daughter from her forever." Ava stared at those words. Her lips slowly parted. Our daughter. The realization hit her differently this time. Lauren wasn't just someone from Theo's past. There was a child Theo had never told her about. Ava sat there for a few seconds, trying to process what she had just discovered. Then her phone rang. It was Theo. She answered. He immediately asked where she was. Ava looked through the windshield at the office building in front of her. She told him she had come to see him. Theo explained that he was already at the office. Ava took a slow breath. "Good, I'll come upstairs." She ended the call. For a moment, she remained completely still. Then she picked up her bag, opened the car door, and stepped outside. She wasn't going upstairs to have another argument. She was going upstairs to finally get the truth, because now Ava had one question that Theo could no longer avoid. Who was the daughter Lauren was talking about?
Ava, what's going on?
I need you to tell me something.
Okay.
Does Lauren have a daughter?
Why would you ask me that?
Because I want to know. Who's this? Theo. Who's the little girl?
Her name is Sophie.
Your daughter?
Yes.
How old is she?
6.
You've known her for 6 years.
Yes.
And you've been with me for 3. 3 years, Theo.
I was afraid you'd leave.
So you decided I didn't deserve the truth?
I wanted us to have a chance.
You didn't give us a chance. You gave me a relationship built on a lie. I'm so disappointed in you, Theo.
Ava. Ava. Ava.
Later that afternoon, Ava walked out of Theo's office building. She had barely made it onto the sidewalk when she suddenly stopped. Across the street stood Lauren. Beside her was a luxury SUV, and holding Lauren's hand was a little girl, 6-year-old Sophie. Ava's eyes immediately locked onto the child. Something about the way Lauren stood beside her made Ava's heart sink. Then Theo walked out of the building behind her. He followed Ava's gaze and froze. Lauren looked directly at Ava. Ava? Ava slowly turned toward Theo. She asked him if he knew Lauren and Sophie were coming. Theo said nothing. He couldn't. Sophie looked at Ava curiously, completely unaware of the tension surrounding her. Lauren looked at Theo, then at Ava. And in that moment, Ava didn't need anyone to explain what she was seeing. Her eyes filled with tears. Theo stood completely speechless. Ava couldn't stay there. She turned and walked away from the office building, heading toward a quiet park nearby. Theo followed her. He called after her, asking her to let him explain. But Ava stopped near a bench and turned around. She had heard enough explanations. She told him that he had already explained enough. Theo tried to tell her that she didn't understand what had happened. Ava looked directly at him. Then she told him to explain it. Before Theo could say anything, Lauren approached them. Sophie stayed close beside her mother. The moment Theo saw them coming, his entire body became tense. Lauren stopped a short distance away. She looked at Ava, then at Theo, and told Ava that Theo should be the one to tell her. Theo immediately objected. This wasn't the place. Lauren looked around, then asked him where the right place was. Ava looked between the two of them. She had spent too long being kept in the dark. She wasn't going anywhere. She told Lauren to speak. Whatever happened in the past, Ava wanted to hear it from her. The three adults stood facing one another while Sophie remained close to Lauren. Lauren looked at Ava. There was guilt in her expression, but there was also frustration. She finally began telling Ava the truth. She and Theo were once engaged. They had been together for years. Ava quietly told her that she already knew they had been together. Lauren was surprised. That reaction told her something. Theo hadn't told Ava everything. Ava asked what else there was. Lauren glanced toward Theo. Then she revealed that Theo hadn't simply left her. Theo immediately interrupted. He warned Lauren not to continue, but Lauren wasn't backing down anymore. Not this time. Lauren turned directly toward Theo. She told Ava the reason their relationship had ended. According to Lauren, Theo had left after she discovered that he was seeing someone else. Ava's eyes immediately moved to Theo. She asked him if it was true. Theo denied the story as Lauren had presented it. He insisted that it wasn't what she thought. Lauren gave a bitter laugh. Of course, she said, that's exactly what he would say. Theo reminded her that she knew why they had ended. Lauren looked directly at him. She told him she knew why he wanted the relationship to end. And suddenly, the past Theo had spent so long trying to bury was standing right in front of Ava, with Lauren, with Sophie, and with a truth that was becoming harder and harder to hide.
Lauren continued, while Theo stood there looking increasingly uncomfortable. She explained that after their relationship ended, Theo hadn't simply walked away from her. He stayed, not because they were still together, but because of Sophie. He remained involved in his daughter's life. He still came to Lauren's house. He still helped with Sophie, and he still spoke to Lauren almost every day. Ava listened quietly. She understood that Theo had a responsibility to his daughter. Ava slowly turned toward Theo. There was one question she had been afraid to ask, but now she needed the answer. She asked him if he had ever been trying to get back together with Lauren. Theo hesitated, just for a moment, but Ava saw it. She saw the hesitation in his eyes. She quietly called his name. Theo finally admitted that there had been a time when he thought maybe they could fix what they had broken. Ava's expression fell. She asked when. Theo told her it was before he met Ava. Ava looked toward Lauren. Lauren said nothing, and somehow that silence made everything feel even heavier. Ava looked back at Theo. She asked him if he still had feelings for Lauren when he met her. Theo didn't answer. Ava stared at him. She told him to answer. Finally, Theo admitted that he cared about Lauren, but Ava stopped him. That wasn't what she had asked. She wanted to know if he still had feelings for her. This time, Theo couldn't hide behind vague words. He admitted it. Yes. Ava slowly stepped backwards. The answer hit harder than she expected. She asked him if he still loved Lauren. Theo said nothing. He didn't have to. His silence answered the question for him. And in that moment, Ava felt something inside her break. Ava turned around and began walking away. Theo immediately started after her. He begged her to stop, but Ava raised her hand without turning around. She didn't want him to follow. She kept walking. Then she stopped. For a moment, she stood there with her back to him. And finally, she turned slightly. She reminded Theo that she had spent 3 years believing she was building a future with him, but now she was beginning to realize something painful. While she had been building a future, Theo had still been living in his past. Theo looked devastated. He told her he loved her. Ava's eyes filled with tears. She believed that maybe he did, but after everything she had just discovered, she no longer knew what his love meant. Then she turned away and walked. Theo remained standing where he was. Lauren and Sophie were still nearby. Theo simply stood there in silence, watching the woman he loved walk away from him.
Ava, can I stay here tonight? Of course.
He has a daughter, Maya.
What?
She's 6. He knows her entire life.
And he never told you?
Not once.
Forget Lauren for a second. Forget the child.
How can I?
Because the question is Theo. How many times did you ask him about his past? He always told me there was nothing I needed to know. That's not an answer. Wait, I remember this night.
What about it?
Theo told me he'd never been serious with anyone before me, but he was engaged. That's Lauren. Are you sure?
Yes. She was there.
The night you met Theo?
Yes.
Are you gonna listen?
I don't know.
Then listen before you decide.
Ava, there's something about the night we met that you don't know. Please let me explain before you hear it from someone else.
I'm done asking him questions.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna ask Lauren. Tonight? Yes, tonight. Because if Theo has been lying to me since the night we met, I want to know what really happened. You said you wanted the truth.
I do.
Then you're gonna hear things you may not like. I've already heard enough lies. Why were you at that restaurant? Theo asked me to meet him. We were trying to figure out what we were gonna do about Sophie. He noticed you before you ever spoke to him.
What?
He watched you for almost 10 minutes. Then he came over to you.
He wasn't honest about why he was there. He has been lying to me from the very start.
Yes.
Yes. He never told me about his daughter. I thought I was building with him, but he was still stuck with you. 3 years, Lauren, and he never for once opened up to me. I don't think I can ever trust him again. If he wants to go back to you, he should go ahead. I loved you, but I can't keep loving the version of you that you created for me. I'm done, Theo.
Ava thought she knew the man she loved. She believed she understood Theo, his past, and the life they were building together. But everything changed when she discovered the daughter he had kept hidden and the painful past he had buried for years. As Ava uncovered more of Theo's secrets, she realized that the man she loved had never trusted her enough to tell her the truth. She still loved him, but love alone couldn't repair years of deception and broken trust. In the end, Ava chose to walk away, not because she stopped loving Theo, but because she finally learned that loving herself meant choosing a life built on honesty, trust, and truth.
Hey everyone, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to tell us where you're watching from, and leave a beautiful comment. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing stories. Stay tuned for the next movie. See you soon!